I think it's my turn to share back some of the knowledge. So I'll be talking about the Asian Development Bank flagship regional cooperation program for South Asia, which is the SASAC program. So in our program, we are looking at, how can we bring the region closer, which I think is sort of like the mystery that everyone here is planning to crack. So what we are trying to do in this region, the SASAC is a big grouping, but I'll focus actually on sort of the key activities that we are doing that I think that is most relevant to the discussion that we have here. So next. So SASAC was, conceived as a very much an institution light, but very much project focused. So we want to get our grips on, how can we, actually implement many of the ideals that has been expressed throughout the region. We want better roads, we want better connectivity, we want to trade better, we want to work better together, right? So I think someone earlier talked about the three spheres of cooperation, infrastructure connectivity, economic connectivity. So in SASAC, we try to sort of work to bring about greater infrastructure, better connectivity, and also we try to look at barriers to, how should we say, cooperation and trade across the region. Red tape, delays, so we try to unlock that. I think we can move to the next slide. Just to mention, I think if you have not seen that earlier, the key areas that we are working in SASAC is transport, which is like the infrastructure connectivity we're talking about, trade facilitation, energy, where we look at, how can we bring about better, connection of the energy grid, and finally on economic corridor development. So this is, I think, something that we want to better integrate the region together. So far, we have been doing quite well. We have invested a substantial amount. We have mobilized a large amount of money, and ADB has invested a lot of its money as well in, for the SASAC region. Next. What are the key activities that we do in SASAC? So SASAC, we have several major meetings. So the main meetings we have are basically what we call the working group meetings. So these are the meetings where we get together all the countries that are members of SASAC together, and then ADB, we serve as like the technical advisor for these kind of meetings. We produce reports, we sort of, countries will request us, is there something you can do to look at this particular area? So ADB would support that. So basically, we try to sort of serve as the lubricant to make sure that these meetings can proceed, provide the technical advice, so an impartial advisor to this kind of discussions. So we have, we also try to sort of promote certain things. So for example, climate change is a big issue now. So we have an event where we talk about the importance of, how we can finance this critical climate transition. We have meetings of the customs subgroup, so where we bring together the customs people. So I think earlier, one of the presenters talked about a one-stop border post. So how do we sort of get the customs to collaborate together that we can have this kind of one-stop border post? The top level kind of a decision making, we have the senior officials meeting. So these are the more senior level, usually at secretary level, additional secretary level to come in and discuss about the the broader sort of policy implication of the SASAC. Next. Can move on to the next one. So I think one of the key areas that that we want to focus here is on the transport, right? So this area of this region, we have a lot of transport projects. We want to see greater connectivity. So SASAC, we have been pretty active about that. We have both done studies on the port side, so how we can improve the maritime connectivity. We done study on how we can promote better India-Bangladesh movement of rail cargo. As you know, most of the cargo between India and Bangladesh is on road, so we are looking at ways how we can promote more rail-based transport. And of course, I think this is something that we have been working very much. Previous speaker has mentioned the importance of BBI and MVA. ADB, we have been supporting BBI and MVA way back since it was first signed. We have held many technical meetings. We bring the parties together. We provided studies on how they can collaborate. How we are so close many times, but we hope that one day we can seal the deal, the country can agree, and then we can have this, the flows of traffic across the region can be facilitated. Next. So here I would like to show you, maybe not so clear, but as you can see, these are our SASAC road corridors, and you can see that we have a plan to connect the different parts of Bangladesh, Northeast India, all the way to Myanmar. So how do we sort of come out to this road corridor? The reason is because we are able to bring together the countries, and we sort of, the countries identify, and then they agree that, okay, we need to have this road corridor, and this is the important part of our coordination activities, right? Because to have like the roads connecting across the region, we need to have this sort of agreement across the different countries. Next. And then similarly, we have the next slide, please. We have done the same thing for the rail corridors as well to sort of facilitate that. Next. Just as important, as I mentioned earlier, we're not talking about hard infrastructure, we're talking about what can we do to facilitate trade in the region. So these are works that we are doing through the work of customs, food regulation, trying to find new ways for a trade corridor, and also how we can facilitate greater tourism. So this is the soft side, because we recognize that it's just as important to the barriers are not just for transport, the barriers are just as well on the regulation side. Next. So we have a meeting of our customs people so that the customs official can discuss how they can improve coordinations. Next. I think there's also of interest now in logistics. So ADB, we have been working on logistics program so far, mostly in India, but we think there's a great potential for that, right? So when we talk about logistics, it's about integrating everything together, right? The hardware, the software, how we can sort of make sure the goods flow smoothly across the region. So this is a new area. We are very excited that we can sort of explore how we can sort of replicate the things that we have done in India to other countries. So Bangladesh, we are just about to start that as well. So we have started India, next up with Bangladesh. Next. I think you mentioned this before. So maybe I'll just stop here. I hope I didn't take too much time. Thank you very much, and I hope I have given you a glimpse of what we do with on the SASAC program. Thank you.